Hello, this is the Black Hart. Welcome to a lesson in bizarre magic presentations. This short video is not about tricks, it's about presentations, a sort of what not to do. Okay, so let's kick off with this first video, which is all about plastic props. Now, I'm not saying that you can't use plastic props in a bizarre magic routine, but putting dramatic music on, displaying a toy plastic skull and a rubber severed hand do not make a routine bizarre. Then producing an obviously toy flower from a hollow wand with glittery ends is hardly a dramatic routine. It just isn't bizarre in any way, shape or form. Now, let's move on to the next clip. Another great example of how not to do a bizarre presentation, and it also happens to feature a plastic prop as well.
This box is haunted. Yes, you heard me right. I found this box in my basement today, and I'm convinced it's haunted. We're gonna get back to this, but for now, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you pick one of these cards. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna riffle through the cards like this, and what I want you to do is memorize one of the cards that you see, all right? Go ahead and memorize one of these cards. You got it? Keep that card locked in your head, and now we're gonna go back to this box. Like I said, I'm convinced that this box is haunted, and it knows what you're thinking. Go ahead, focus on the card that you picked. Focus on the count of three. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Box knows that you picked the 10 of clubs. Was your card the 10?
Oh, come on, the box is haunted. If you're going to have a haunted box, at least get one that looks like it may be. Also, what has haunted got to do with the effect? It knows what you're thinking. Well, then it's a psychic box, not a haunted one. The whole trick, and I use that word on purpose, has no story, no emotional involvement. You could have a toy that belonged to a child who sadly died and weave a story into the effect. But hey, it's a haunted box, and your thought of card will appear in here is not even a good presentation for a psychic effect. Let's move on. Well, he has made an effort with his props. Some are a bit plasticky, but the black candles are good, and there's a pentacle on the table. This could be a strong effect in the correct setting, a seance for example. He starts off okay, but being a silent act, we don't really know what's going on. Then we get a version of magician's little finger syndrome, when he starts using magician's gestures to show his hands are empty. Immediately, this signals, "Hey, I'm a conjurer," to the audience. All the waving of his hand around has no purpose and even distracts from what the little doll is doing. Mind you, it's a better box than the last one. Moving on again, we're going to see a presentation of Paul Gordon's Bizarre Twist. A really nice effect. This isn't sold as a bizarre magic effect, that just happens to be the name. However, this is a good example of why, when you're performing bizarre magic, you don't use fancy shuffles and card handling. Where to start? Obviously the presenter is a very skilled card manipulator and is determined to show this to its full extent. There is no need to do the one hand spread and call the cards from the deck in that way. It's merely a show of card handling skill. Even the showing of the cards is done in ultra slick fashion. What's the result of this on the audience? They think, this guy is an expert at handling cards. And they're right. We even have typical magician's hand and finger positioning, a minor case of magician's little finger syndrome. It all looks very false and leads the audience to think, and rightly suspect, that there is some card manipulation going on. The effect then becomes a mere puzzle. The whole effect becomes a demonstration of the presenter's skill. The transformations are actually rather astonishing. Imagine this in a different setting, with the handling done in a natural manner, perhaps with tarot cards. Presented differently, let's say in an apparently unskilled manner, the focus moves from the skill of the presenter to the mysterious forces that cause the cards to transform. Perhaps it would be worth seeing how this could be worked with a set of tarot cards in the hands of a performer such as Alan the Teller of Tales, Frank Allen. Okay, on to the next one. Another fantastic effect thrown away as a puzzle, despite the dramatic music. Again, we have magician's hand syndrome. Why not handle a bolt naturally? Just hold the bolt. You don't need to wave your hands about like a tacky stage conjurer. The magician gives no hint of character or drama. The performance is flat and unemotional. Imagine this presented in a séance with the medium holding the bolt whilst it mysteriously unwinds itself. Now that would be scary. You could have a great storyline, perhaps about an equipment malfunction that killed someone, and their spirit has returned. The rising card effect is a great example of turning a clever effect into something really special by putting it into a seance. Now, if you want scary,
Hi, what's your name? Okay, let me try again. Well, welcome to America's Got Talent anyway. Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is scary. Oh my God.
now that's what I call bizarre magic. The performance of Sacred Rihanna on America's Got Talent's a masterclass in bizarre presentation, and how the performer's character plays a huge part in the effect on the audience. The panel members are genuinely disturbed. They don't know what's about to happen, and their reaction is nervous laughter. Sacred Rihanna's presentation turned a simple living and dead test into a truly memorable experience, and deeply involved Mel B on an emotional level. Character is very important. In the words of the late Tony Andruzzi, masculine new mage, be something you are not someone you are not. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this short lesson in the presentation of bizarre magic. Yours in darkness, the Black Hart.